Hey guys, this is Miriam at High Life Auto. I am out doing a video test drive on a 2010 Chevy Equinox. If you've never been on my video test drives before, the way it works is I drive the vehicle on video and I tell you what I see, hear, think, smell, and feel to give you the best indication of being in the driver's seat without actually being in the driver's seat. I'm not a mechanic and this is not meant to be a 182-point inspection. Rather, this is meant to be a sneak peek into how the vehicle drives and any potential issues I notice as we're going along. So, we'll take a look around the vehicle, we'll take a look under the hood, and then we'll go for a drive. Okay, all of that. Let's put up the hood, and here we go. And let's see, the auction said this had some check engine lights on. They said it's got a wheel bearing noise. They said it's got some suspension noise, which would be the wheel bearing noise. They said the all-wheel drive light is on, which would be the wheel bearing. So I think we probably have a wheel bearing, in case you haven't got that yet. Oh my gosh, my hair is going all over the place. I don't know. We'll see what we got. All right, 2010 Chevy Equinox. Body looks okay. We got a couple little things going on. We've got some rust right here, and then we've got a little bit of rust right up there on the cab, not the cab thingy, but the front fender. Tires are about 30%. Same on the front, maybe about 25% on the front. They're right at the wear bars on the front. But other than that, it's pretty decent on the body. Interior is just cloth. Got a little bit of a rip right there, but it's kind of a cool meshy type cloth. Pretty decent looking otherwise. You do have a crack in your windshield right there, so be aware of that, Missouri buyers. Around here on the back is kind of a little bit rough. They've got some spots where maybe the paint was peeling and the rust kind of got it. Probably something that should be fixed sooner rather than later. And I don't know the best way to fix it, or probably just paint over it and it stops the rust would be my solution. But it is the LT all-wheel drive. Looks like it's been cleaned. On this side, you've got that same rust kind of on the wheel well, and then on that front piece right there. And you've got just a little bit of a ding right there. Otherwise, it's not bad looking. Got maybe a tiny little ding, just a couple little pock marks here and there. For the most part, it's just a couple little rust marks and a couple little pock marks. So, open up the hood. I know it's kind of dusty under here, so I must have lived on a gravel road. But one good thing, I saw that they've got this rag under here. That's always a good thing to see, because that means that they probably checked their oil. Checking your oil at gas stations is always something you should do. I'm always telling people to do it. Every time you fill up with gas, check your oil, check your coolant, check your brake fluid, check all of that. If you check it before it's a problem, you can fix the problem a whole lot cheaper than if you check it after it's a problem. So usually I see something like that, somebody already has that, and that's a good thing. That means that they're preventatively taking care of their vehicle. And maybe not. Maybe they just have a rag under there for the heck of it. I don't know. That's what I think when I see that, because I have one under my car. So there you go. That's my thought. Okay, so right here we've got check engine light, 307,000 miles. Tire pressure light. I put air in all the tires, so that is a tire pressure sensor fault. It's not going to be just a tire pressure thing. Seatbelt light. I'll put my seatbelt on. Let's see. Radio works, and you've got all your fancy stuff. You've got like Sirius radio and all of that. I've got air conditioning on, and air conditioning is cold, which you don't really need, but it's cold anyways. I'm going to turn the heat on because you do need that, and it blows out hot. All right, what else do we got? Okay, windows. Driver's side window works. Passenger side window works. Rear passenger side window works, and rear driver's side window works. Let's put my seatbelt on. We'll run the codes for the check engine light and see what they say. And yes, 307,000 miles is a lot of miles. But to have 307,000 miles, that means that it has been maintained. Alright, so we have a lot of repeat codes on here. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we've got, I don't know if these are history codes or what they are. Okay, so we've got, I think I go in order. So we've got 16, crankshaft position, 17, crankshaft position, so it's bank 1 sensor A, bank 1 sensor B, 420, catalyst system efficiency below, that's an exhaust code, 442, evap code, that's an exhaust code, 449, evap code, that's an exhaust code. So you've got 16, 17, 442, and 449, and 420. So 5 codes, I think, and then it repeats, no pending codes. For some reason, a lot of these cars have like 3 modules, and none of them, they don't show anything in any of the other modules, but they've got 3 modules, and so I don't know what they're for. Okay, so those are your codes on there. Whether or not they are current codes, unfortunately, I don't know, but those are the codes on there. So we are going to go, because this scanner does not tell me whether or not they're their history or their anything like that. It just tells me that there's codes on there. Yeah. Let's see. It does tell me if it's pending. I'm going to see if they come back. Let's see what happens. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna go for a drive. Okay, and the auction said wheel bearing noise, so I'm going to actually turn down the fan and see if I can hear what they hear, and see if I can determine where and why and when and all of that stuff. And this one is the 2.4, I believe, Equinox, not the 3.6. There's definitely a wheel bearing noise there. You can kind of hear, I don't know, it sounds louder. I kind of relate it to kind of like the beginning sounds of an airplane taking off. When we get up the hill, we'll try and turn side to side and see if we can determine which side it's on. Oh look, there's a Cybertruck. But other than the noise, I mean, it's driving pretty well. Okay. Let's see, let's get up on this straight way. I mean, we're up at 60, it's driving smooth. I think that's got to be what they were talking about in relation to suspension noise, because I don't hear any other suspension noise as far as like rattling or anything like that. I don't hear any rattling or popping, clicking, anything like that. I just hear the louder wheel bearing noise. And they said there was an all-wheel drive service all-wheel drive light on the dash. I've not seen that yet, but I'm sure that it will pop up at some point. Alright, so we're gonna go to our passenger side, and it does get quieter. To our driver's side, it gets louder. Okay, so I always have to think when I do this. So if I go to my driver's side and it gets louder, it takes pressure off my passenger side. So I think that means that it is my front passenger wheel bearing. I'll double check that as we're going again on this side, but we've got our left turn signal, our right turn signal. Let's see, where's my windshield wipers? Windshield wipers and fluid, those both work. And we'll also check our cruise. Let's see. Okay, there's our cruise buttons, so we'll get that tested as we're going. Up to 30, turn our cruise on. It says our cruise is set to 34, and it works. Okay, so our cruise works, and we're gonna turn. Passenger side, it definitely gets quieter. Driver's side, it definitely gets louder. So, turn to the passenger side and it gets quieter. Wait, is that the opposite way? Okay, I'm gonna have to Google this when I get back. But when you go to... Alright, you guys are gonna have to listen to this. Definitely quiet when I go towards the passenger side. Alright, so I'm going to Google that. But I think when you go towards the passenger side and it gets quieter, you're taking weight off of the driver's side, which would make it the front driver's side, which is the opposite of what I said before. I don't know. You guys listen to it and Google it and then comment on my video and tell me which one it is. And then I'll have to do the same because I'm going to have to double think. I always have to think about this because I'm always wrong. But that's what it is. Okay, so rundown of this car. It's running and driving really well. Brakes are good and solid. No grinding, no vibration. They're right at the top of the pad. I mean, it starts right up. It runs and drives. It seems to be doing everything that it's supposed to be doing. All your features work as far as your radio, your heat, your air, your windows, all of that stuff works. You got a couple body dings and dents. You've got a cracked windshield. You do have some miles on here. You've got a check engine light, and you've got a wheel bearing noise. So you got a couple things going on, but it's fairly cheap. It's a decent looking car. Needs a little bit of repair, but it looks like it's been maintained otherwise. So comment on my video, tell me which wheel bearing it is, and then just come in here and pick it up and fix it, and then drive the wheels off of it, or flip it and make some money, or whatever you like to do with your cars. I like to sell them. That's it. That's all. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions, my cell phone, 309-267-7200. Thanks.